You're watching CT23 with Eric Parker.
Welcome back. Have you filed your federal and state income taxes yet? They're due April 18th, but tax filing season is underway. Joining us with what you need to know about filing your state income taxes this year is Commissioner Mark Boughton of the Connecticut Department of Revenue Services. Commissioner, thanks for being with us. Tax filing season's underway. How's it going so far?
Well, it's busy. It's our busiest time of the year, and all of our teams are working really hard at making sure we process all these filings that are coming in. We just want to get out there and encourage people to file. We may owe you money, Eric. We want to give you your check, and we want to encourage people to get going on this right away. And we have a little checklist here of things we want to remind people to do, but it's been a very robust and busy season for us here at the state of Connecticut.
Well, listen, if there's one thing people think of when they think of you in DRS, it's maybe you owe us money. That's for sure what we're thinking, Commissioner. Take us through that checklist. What are the big things we need to know as we get closer here to April 18th if we haven't already filed?
Yeah, so we want to make sure first of all, get all your material together, get everything you need, you need to be able to do the filing. We want to make sure that people file online. That's the quickest way to get that big refund you got coming to you. And generally, if you file online, I'm going to get you a check back to you in 4 days. That's 4 days. In addition to that, we want to make sure that people have to file their federal returns are separate than their state return. But remember, our state return goes off the adjusted gross income of the federal return. So you got to do both. And if you use like a TurboTax or one of those software packages, they are wired right into our system. So it's really easy to do. And we're really excited about our new system that we've just rolled out called we call it internally CTax. Folks out there will call it MyConnect. You go on there, we walk you through it. If you have any problems at all, you can call us at our 1-800 number. That's 1-800-382-9463, 1-800-382-9463. You can always email us at drs.gov, and we'll happily respond to your email. But we're ready to go, man. We want to get you done and get your money right out to you.
And one thing I know you and I have talked about in the past, if people are concerned with fraud or anything else, it doesn't pay to wait till the 18th, right? Whether you owe or the state owes, getting that return filed early can help prevent fraud as well.
Sure. Look, you can file an extension beyond the 18th, but you still got to pay if you have a liability there. So, if you got to get all your paperwork together, you got to have a pretty good guesstimate of what you owe us, and then you got to mail a check in. Look, we're a secure system. We spend a lot of time, literally millions and millions of dollars on security. Of course, I say that now, and we'll get under attack tonight or something. But generally speaking, that's why we encourage people to use the online system. We used to, if you remember, mail out to you the forms. You get them in your mailbox. We had your Social Security number pre-printed right on the form for everybody to see. So those days are gone. If you do need a form, though, some people do like having a form with them. We'll mail it out to you. Just call that 1-800 number I gave earlier, and we'll send the form out to you.
Now, you talked about the new computer system. Any other notable changes this year? Anything that might be different if people have kind of fallen into that normal process of filing their state taxes? Anything special, any deductions, anything new programs they should be watching out for?
Yeah, so we're asking a lot more questions on the form. And the idea here is that we want to get an understanding where people derive their income. Where do they get it? Where do they get their money from? And it's not because we're being nosy. It's because we want to give the governor and the Connecticut General Assembly good information, good data on where and how and who's carrying the burden of our tax system. But we don't know that right now because our forms are so short. So we are asking some more questions this year. Next year, we're going to add to those questions so we can, again, give the folks who make the laws and set policy to be able to make good decisions based on the information we're handing them. So you'll see that that's a little bit different. But other than that, it's pretty much the same. I think next year we're going to see a cut in those income tax rates thanks to the governor, and you're going to pay a little bit less.
Well, everybody likes to hear that. One thing you and I talked about, I think the last time you were on, was this child tax rebate checks. I know you were talking to the legislature just in the last couple of months saying, not every penny that was part of that program has been given out. Are there efforts underway to identify people who maybe didn't get them last year and still could?
Well, that'll be up to the Connecticut General Assembly to decide if they want to go beyond that cutoff date of July 31st we had last year. Certainly, there is money left over. We could disperse it if that's the will of the body and of the governor, but I would need some kind of legislative act to be able to do that. But there is discussions that are ongoing, and basically we'd take the data, Eric, that would come to us from the IRS, which we should get in the next week or two. And then we can pull off of that, cross-reference with who already got a check, and then mail out the folks that didn't get a check because they never applied.
And you, when you were on with us last time, we were saying, hey, kind of shaking the trees. Hey, everybody come out. 84.5 million out of, was it 125 was the total amount out there? I mean, are you satisfied that you did pretty good?
We did. I mean, the number thrown around was 300,000 potential folks that would benefit from this program, or filers, taxpayers. I never thought it was quite that high. We did a little over 200,000. I'm sure we're missing 20 or 30,000 because folks just didn't get the word, or they forgot to file, or whatever. And if it's the will of the legislature, we'll be able to get a check out to them.
And just one other thing that's a DRS program, a little different than filing, is that highway use tax that's underway. I know that started January 1st. A lot of headlines about that. Is that going okay so far? What are you seeing on that?
Sure. We've registered over 30,000 carriers. 87% of those carriers are from out of state. The checks are rolling in as we speak. I don't have an exact number for you because the cutoff was February 28th. So they take a few days for us to process. But hopefully by the end of this week or the beginning of next week, I'll have a number for you of what our first quarter was. I wouldn't take too much out of that because it's it's got to look at it as kind of a beta program. It's the first time through for people. The next quarter will get a little bit more robust. And I think by the third and fourth quarter, that'll give you a good window as to what this program will generate. But folks have been registering, and they have been paying.
All right, we only got a couple seconds left. Give us the phone number and the email if people have questions filing their state taxes.
Sure. Give us a call at 1-800-382-9463. And I'm going to tell you something, Eric. Early April, I'm personally going to be on those phones, picking them up and answering questions. I do that every year. And if that doesn't work for you, just email us at drs@ct.gov. That's drs@ct.gov, and we'll get it right out to you and answer.
And if it's early April when you call, say, hi, is Mark there? I'd like to talk to him. I got some questions.
I'd sit right there with my headset on and answer questions.
Commissioner Mark Boughton, Department of Revenue Services, thanks for being with us here on CT23.
Thank you very much.